Thanks for joining us for part 2 of the webinar, Crafting an Effective Elevator Pitch for Your Green Business from greenbusinessowner.com. We're going to go into part 2 here, the elements of a great elevator pitch. The very first element that we think is very important for you to have in an elevator pitch is confidence in your offerings. In the first example that we have, Café Organique, a French-inspired organic cafe and bakery, the not-so-good elevator pitch lacks confidence. At Café Organique, we serve pastries, croissants, specialty coffees, and desserts. We try to source organic as much as possible, but it's difficult sometimes. We have outside seating on the sidewalk and do some light fare for lunch as well. To express a little bit more confidence, Café Organique could say, we serve up delicious French-inspired cuisine like pastries, soufflés, and croissants that absolutely melt in your mouth. People dine in our cozy interior or out on a spacious veranda on sunny days. Sometimes our customers just stay throughout the day drinking coffee, meeting people, working on laptops, and eating breakfast and lunch. It's a really fun environment. The next element of a great elevator pitch that we want to express is focus on your own product and services. And for this, we're going to go through an example for a fictitious company called Eco Gardens LLC. Our not-so-good elevator pitch, which focuses almost exclusively on competition, is this. Eco Gardens offers a much more environmentally friendly alternative to other landscape maintenance companies. Two of our competitors, Martinworks and Bluefield Maintenance, both use large applications of chemicals to treat garden areas. Martinworks actually uses genetically engineered seeds that are unnaturally resistant to chemicals, so they can put extra chemicals on everything and not kill the grass they've planted. By focusing on your competition, the names that you drop are going to be remembered by your customer, as opposed to your own name, which will likely be forgotten. In addition, it comes off as being sort of bitter that your competition is doing something that you're not allowed to do. Rather, a good elevator pitch for Eco Gardens is, Eco Gardens works with clients who are concerned about exposing their children and pets to toxic chemicals traditionally used in lawn care services, but who still want a beautiful landscape. We create healthy, elegant designs with native plants and organic treatments that are both eye-catching and eco-friendly. The next element of a great elevator pitch that we're going to focus on is contagious enthusiasm and energy. For this, we go to Jack's Office Supplies, an eco-friendly office supply store. The not-so-good elevator pitch is this. Jack's adapts to changing market demand in selling office supplies like stationery, paper, pens, and folders with high recycled content in many of our products. We've been in business for 14 years and are currently renovating our store to start offering office furniture. We even let people trade things in when they're done using them. Instead, if they're going to have a little bit more contagious energy and enthusiasm to really get people jazzed up about their service, they might say, at Jack's, we provide small businesses with competitively priced, eco-friendly office supplies and a satisfaction guarantee. What really sets us aside, though, is our exchange program, allowing a company with changing needs to trade in reusable items and gain credit towards new purchases. Over the long haul, our business customers tend to save 20% on office supplies when they do business with us. The next element of a good elevator pitch is to clearly communicate by using clear language and avoiding jargon. In this case, we look at Jenna Pancote, marketing consultant. The not-so-good pitch. Hi, I'm Jenna Pancote, and I do marketing consulting for small green businesses. I like to help businesses get their message out effectively and communicate with their key stakeholders in the sustainability community by implementing the power of consistency and brand messaging to achieve success. There's a lot of jargon, a lot of keywords that are important in the marketing community, but that small business owners might not necessarily immediately identify with. And by using them, Jenna might actually turn her potential clients and potential retweeters, as we discussed earlier, off to her products and services. Rather, she should use clear language. I'm Jenna Pancote, and I work with small business owners who have a great green story to tell, but who struggle to reach new customers. My clients have reported finding new markets they'd not even considered, and typically see a lot of new faces in their store after I've told their story. Doesn't that sound a lot more clear? One other thing we want to convey about Jenna's particular elevator pitch is that she also conveys a sense of the experience of working with her. As you'll see in that last sentence in her good elevator pitch, the experience of her clients is that they have reported finding new markets that they'd not even considered, and typically see a lot of new faces in their store after they've worked with Jenna. Conveying that sense of experience is important. That way customers and potential other stakeholders can understand what it's going to be like by working with you. The next key is to avoid in-depth technical details. This is similar to using clear language above in a not-so-good elevator pitch. Bill's Green Clean Carpet Cleaning Solutions says, "We use a state-of-the-art carpet cleaning solution called EcoGrinder. It's got this unique combination of effervescence and hydrogen peroxide, which degrades to water and oxygen, so no chemical residue there, natural enzymes, and granular sand crystals that physically remove dirt and other debris from carpet. It all gets forced down into the carpet, and the cool part is, the effervescence then forces the crystals back up, and they get sucked back into our machine, which then reuses them in the next pass. Our competitors can't offer this kind of service. Theirs always leaves a lingering chemical odor." A better elevator pitch for Bill's is, "Our Green Clean services residential and commercial customers with a chemical-free cleaning process. We use an advanced technology called EcoGrinder, and customers really love how clean their carpets get, and how they don't have to open windows or hear their employees grumbling about how bad it smells." By avoiding this jargon and this technical detail, they're able to get the point across that this is chemical-free. And if the person wants more detail, if they're an engineer, for example, and they want more detail, you can give them more detail, but you don't have to hit them over the head with it right off the bat. The other great point that we want to make from this particular pitch is that you need to get across your competitive advantage. In this good example from Bill's, we can see that Bill gets across the competitive advantage that customers really love how their carpets get clean, but they don't have to open their windows or hear employees grumbling about how bad the smell is. That's a clear competitive advantage over your competitors. And the last real big element of a successful elevator pitch is to clearly state the problem that you solve. This is also the case here with Bill's Green Clean Carpet Solutions, in that they basically just say, look, we clean carpets and we do it without chemicals. It's very clear. The last element, and this is a nonverbal element, is your delivery. This is often described as a movement signature. Now, a movement signature can affect your delivery of your elevator pitch such that even if you have a perfectly timed and executed verbal elevator pitch, your movement signature can actually turn people off to your service. Now, we're going to go through an example of how you can kind of create a good delivery and work on your movement signature. First step is to go ahead and brainstorm adjectives that you'd really like to convey about your company or your service. Okay, so for example, if I'm looking to create the elevator pitch for greenbusinessowner.com, I want to convey that we are intelligent, efficient, and professional. Those are the adjectives I would like to convey to anyone listening to the elevator pitch that I would like to give for GBO. The next step is to go ahead and practice your elevator pitch, verbally and non-verbally, in front of people you trust who will give you good feedback. Now, don't tell them about this adjective thing at the beginning. Instead, go ahead and give them your pitch, and then afterwards ask them to use adjectives to describe you and the pitch that you just gave. Now, take those two lists, the one you generated that you want to be heard as, and the one that was given to you by the folks that have listened to your pitch. Now, if the two don't match up, then you know you've got some work to do. So if they don't match up, ask the folks who you presented to why they didn't use the adjectives that you had so wanted to try and convey. Okay, so for example, if confident is one of the things that you want to convey, there may be a very subtle movement that you make that sort of doesn't allow you to show confidence. For many people, standing in front of an audience and speaking in public is difficult. So sometimes this manifests itself in a physical, nonverbal, and involuntary motion. For example, with confidence, a slight step backwards as you're delivering your elevator pitch to someone might display that you don't really have a lot of confidence in what you're delivering. By assessing this adjective before and after, this adjective list before and after, you can assess whether or not you're displaying confidence. This concludes part 2 of this webinar. Part 3 will now cover the 2 techniques greenbusinessowner.com likes to recommend for entrepreneurs and managers to craft their effective elevator pitch. Once again, you can find this 3rd video on youtube.com/greenbusinessowner or on our homepage at greenbusinessowner.com.